title in a row last year. When you were celebrating on the pitch, you said that you were quite tired, that you'd found it quite draining. This season, with all the, I know you've not been challenging for the major trophies right toward the end, but because of all the problems, have you found this season more draining? Has it been more tiring? Has it been less demanding because you're not challenging for the titles right to the end?
No, have been more demanding. Much more. When you don't win, it's more demanding in terms emotionally and preparing and the moods and everything. So it's more difficult. Have been more difficult than the previous seasons that we play, for the winning for the titles.
And you've obviously had a lot of seasons as a manager, ups and downs, winning things, maybe not winning things. Has this been the most demanding season? Now you're coming to the end of it. When you look back, has this been the most demanding season since you were a manager, since you became manager?
It's been the more difficult, yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah. Hi, Pep. You've said a few times this season that you don't think you've done a particularly good job by your standards. You're going into a big high-profile tournament in the summer and then next season. I don't think anyone would say you've got a point to prove to the Premier League or to City fans or anything, but do you feel you've got a point to prove to yourself to get back to your very high levels?
Every time you have to prove ourselves. When I listen to players said, what I've done in my career, I don't have anything to prove. Completely wrong. They should retire. What they've done is done. So the people pay the tickets to come to the stadium to do every time. I had to prove myself again and again. And I disappoint myself when it's not going well. So when I retire and I will love it after we review my career, I said, okay, I've been good or I've been bad or could be better, could be worse. But right now, next game I have to prove myself. So life don't live for memories.
And without going into too much detail, what sort of areas do you think you've not reached your high standards at? What sort of, give us some examples, if you could, of areas where you think you've not done as good a job as you have done?
We had a lot of injuries. We didn't have the energy. We tried most of the time, but we were not able to do it. I didn't find the way to let them feel comfortable in winning games, that give us winning games, help us to winning more games, to be there. But at the same time, it's happened. So you cannot win all the time in your career. So accept the reality like a normality, that it's life, and learn and improve.
Hi, Pep. Just going back to what you were saying to Rob about this being the most demanding season. Why in particular is that, do you feel?
Well, we didn't win one game. For many months, we were able to win a lot of games. So it's demanding, but we don't win. It's a business, you have to win games. Otherwise, you cannot be here next time. And we represent a people, represent a club, that you have to do your job as best as possible. And today, this season, we didn't do that. So we were in a high standards, and we dropped it. Even with that, I would say, could be worse. So I know how many champions, and start in November, September, October, November, that they don't find a way to win the Premier League, and they finish 12th. Or 6 or 7, no, 6 or 7 is fine, but 10, 11, or 12, or 30, 40, a lot. So just look the history. So, and even with that, we were not good. I was not good to find a way, but we didn't give up. That's why we are here. We're still fighting, to qualify for the Champions League. That is a big prize. Everyone has to admit that, and in the final FA Cup. And we won the Community Shield in the beginning of the season against United. So we won one title, we fight for the second, and we qualify. In terms of results after that, I said, oh, okay, no, it's not been good, I know, but could be worse. So still, we were there. I was there, the players were there. Not our best, but we didn't give up.
And when it comes to reviewing the season, do you look at what you've done and assess yourself almost and see, what you could have done better and what you might have done differently?
It's easy to say. I would say, yeah, well, differently, but that would prove that we had succeed. I don't know. So I'm sorry, in sport, when it's over, it's over. You're going to say, no, if I should have done this in a different way, nobody knows. So at the moment, the decision was a reflection about many things, and we have done it.
Hi, Pat. Can you talk about Jeremy Doku? He's got 2 assists in 2 games. Do you feel he's becoming more consistent, and how has he evolved since he started at the club when you signed him?
The impact is really good. In assists, in defensively, in work ethic, it's an impact when it comes 30 minutes, how you can change the game. Yeah, have been really good.
Has You're becoming more a player you can rely on more than maybe this time last season.
Listen, the players when want to improve, they want to love to play, and they are focused, and they want a good spirit and good, they are better. So every season you play and you are positive, you are a better player. You are. And I think he will become a top. It is already. So in the final third, when we drop the teams, the ability to do the actions is unbelievable.
Hi, Pat. Just on Bernardo, you mentioned Kovacic's improvement in form earlier. What has playing alongside Bernardo done for him, and what's their relationship been like in the team recently?
Well, Bernardo is so intuitive, is so competitor. I think Josko has been the most important player that we had this season. Without Josko, it will be impossible to sustain. These are reliable to play every 3 days during 11 months in the good bad moments. Josko has been top, and Bernardo, I said many times with a few and other players in the bad moments of the season, have been there, and I don't forget that. So it's easy when everybody's fit, when everything is fine, everything is. But when you are reliable, being available to play every 3 days and fight and suffer, and next day game another one and try it again and try it again and try it again in the bad moments, that means a lot to me, a lot.
He does so many jobs in the team for you, Bernardo. Like, is he the sort of player that you can just say, "This is what I need for this game"? Can you help me there?
Yeah, as a player, just to say you are playing that position, he adapt. He knows exactly what they have to do. It's like Rico. There are players that, no, I play in that position. No, they play football. And when they play football, they know exactly in which position play, what they have to do. No necessary to tell them. Yeah, they move, it depends what happened to the opponents and your mates, and the movements of in the right moment, they adapt every situation because they are completely focused with that. That is the truth.
Pep, just back to when you and the team were struggling earlier in the season, were there any points where you worried that you weren't going to be able to solve the problems?
No, always I thought, I thought every time I would solve it, but I didn't solve it. I said next time, okay, I will solve it. I didn't solve it, but I knew that sooner or later when it would happen. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And if you had that belief, if there were noise from outside the club, maybe doubting whether you and the players would sort of still be able to have that success, was that any extra motivation?
But a little bit. The people doubts and the people are waiting. When you win a lot, the people are waiting, you drop, and they are happy when this happens. That is normal. So the rivals and the people, they are not like us, so it's normal. So it's part of the game, these emotions, and when the people is happy when the defeats for the other one, it's normal. It's part of the game. I was more concerned what I have to do, to win games, to help the team, to be the players' feet, to do it. I was more concerned in that.
And the team's been very stable for the last month or so. Do you feel like you're through the worst that you'll go through with this squad?
Listen, it wasn't always happen when I was a football player in a tough season that we were in a run that no good results. People say, "Nah, cannot be worse. Can no more." Yeah, can be. Now you lost 3 or 4 games. Listen, no, we can lose 5, 6, 7. In the opposite side, you can win 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you never know what's happened. The truth that now we are good, good drum results in the right moment, because I know how difficult have been so far, but still we are there. So the teams will fight, all the contenders that we have, they will fight to win the games, to win the champions next season, and tomorrow we have this experience.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you.